friends, and welcome back to Opposites Attract Podcast. This is Sonja Ramirez, your girl, and I'm sitting next to
Miguel Ramirez.
What's up, everybody? How was your day?
How was your week?
How is your life?
Going. And today, make sure you guys go to our website, oppositesattractpodcast.com. When you guys go to our website, you can see all the ways that you can follow the podcast. You can also see ways that you can support the show by clicking through our Amazon link and purchasing stuff. You can also support us by going to buymeacoffee.com/oppositepod and buying us a virtual drink or something like that. And we'll tell you more about that a little bit later.
Something like that. Why are you looking at me crazy?
I'm not.
Changing
I'm just
things
saying.
up.
Yeah, you're mixing it up the last couple episodes.
Yeah, keep everybody on their toes.
Yeah. Now that we got the tentacles of social media off of us, we can record the show.
Yay!
Yeah.
We were sitting here enjoying each other's company
This is some real shit.
for about 42 minutes.
We had the camera rolling,
Yes.
and we're like, let's put up a post real quick.
Right.
Real quick.
Real quick.
And that's the thing, is that it starts out as an innocent, like, hey, this is kind of a work thing. Let's take a selfie, put it up on social media. Hey, recording a new episode. These are things you have to do.
Yes. And then
42 minutes later,
and then
shit.
I'm like, there's no way.
You're like, got your ass.
Yes.
Gotta be careful with
that's
that.
the thing that you need to be careful with, because you will miss out on life. So really quick, I wasn't even going to talk about this, but this came up. So during Halloween, as you all know, those of you that have been listening to us and following us, you know that we have Crazy October here in our neighborhood. And as Miguel and I are sitting there scaring the crap out of people, everyone is on their phone. Like, just everyone is on their phone.
I heard you say something like that, but at the same time, you want to capture the moment. Like, I've heard so many people talk about like how, oh, you're missing the moment because you're on your phone. And it's like, yeah, but I also want to like have a snapshot of this moment. You know what I mean? Now, if you have your face in the phone for the entire time you're there, that's different. You know, but there have been times where like we go through, or we go to something and we've been there for hours. And it's like at a certain point, it's like, oh shit, let's take a picture before we fucking get out of here.
Yes. That is having balance.
Last night is a perfect example of that.
A lot of people don't have that balance or that awareness.
Right. That is just the phone is out and your face is in it all the time. Like it's like you're watching everything through the camera of the phone.
It's so sad to me. It's very sad. Yeah, like last night, we had such a great time.
We went to the Jo Koy show here in Phoenix.
Yes, so much to share about that. So much to share about that.
Best comedy show ever.
We bought our original tickets in May.
Yeah. Yeah, it was for me.
And it was rescheduled for November. And so we ended up buying our friends' tickets for their birthday, or for his birthday.
No, what it was is there was a what? Well, you don't want me to say?
No, it was for his birthday.
No,
it was for Jeff's birthday.
Maybe that was part of it.
Yes.
But also it was because
there you go.
We had a it was a time where I was like traveling a lot. We had a lot of shit going on, or I think I was getting ready to leave out of town, and the freaking water heater went out.
Yes.
And like we didn't even ask him or anything. Like, you were just talking to him like, oh yeah, the water heater went out, just like regular neighbor shit that you do.
I had told him that I have someone coming over to replace it, and he's like, what are they charging you? And I told him, and he's like, nope, call them and cancel.
Too much.
Yep. Yeah. He's like, nope, call them and cancel that.
I could do that.
He's like, we'll go to Home Depot right here, buy the water, I'll put it in, don't worry about it. I was like, aw.
Dude, so after that, you know, I think maybe that day or like the next day, we saw like Jo Koy tickets went on sale. And then it was like, you know what? That was like really nice. They didn't, you know, he just kind of offered it up and just did the work. And it's like, let's get them tickets to go with us to the show. That would be fun, you know? And so we got tickets. And then one of our other friends who we've talked about on this show, who's been on the show, and our friend Eric and Angela
Yes.
Vogt, they have
Love them.
And a little bit about them. They have also supported us since
the beginning.
Since the idea of the
Yes.
podcast started.
Yes.
You know, it was like I'm pretty sure Eric was one of the people who's like, hey, I'm thinking about starting a podcast or something. You know, like he was one of the first people. And then since the very beginning, he hooked us up with the mixer that we've been using this entire time to record. He's hooked us up with the computer that we use to edit everything.
Wow.
I mean, he's always had our back.
Yes.
And then, so he's a huge fan of Jo Koy.
Yes.
And, you know, like we hit him up, be like, hey, have you heard Jo Koy's coming? We got tickets. Are you getting tickets? Because most likely we know he's getting tickets. And he's like, I got tickets. So we had 4 tickets. He had 4 tickets. And then there was a little bit of a difference between his tickets and our tickets. We both got floor seats. Ours were like one section back, a few rows back in the second section. He had floor seats on the second row.
Yes.
Dude. And so I guess he went and he was talking to his wife or whatever, and maybe she was a little worried that being that close, you know, the comedians might spot you or pick on you or whatever, so she was kind of terrified. But he called me up and he's like, dude, I got a deal for you. He's like, would you be willing to trade me tickets? And then I showed him like where the tickets were. He's like, that's perfect. Let's swap. And dude, we were 2 rows from the stage.
Yes.
And it was insane.
It was a blast.
It was the best night, best comedy show ever.
Yes. You know, you're talking about our friend Eric and, you know, and Jeff and Paige and just those that we do have around us. And Jo Koy last night was talking about the importance of your associations.
Yeah. And kicking motherfuckers out.
Yeah. No, he was like,
your ass got to go.
He's like, you may be with that negative person.
Tell him tonight in the parking lot. Motherfucker, you two, now I'm tired of your shit.
We're done. The importance of that. Wow. Just not even knowing though, right? Like us not knowing before how much impact that has on us.
Well, and a very easy example of that is something that we talked about last week. Is like when you're going through a situation in your relationship and you talk to one of your friends about it, what is their response to that situation? Are you in a serious relationship? Is it something that, you know, is not like me and you? We go through something and I go to one of my friends and they're like, oh, she's just being fucking this. And this is what, and you know what? You shouldn't be putting up with that fucking shit. And like if your friends are giving you advice like that, you need to be careful. Because when your friends know that you have something special, something valuable, that is not going to be the advice that they want to give you because they know what's good for you. They want what's best for you.
Right. Yeah.
And those are the motherfuckers that got to go.
But yeah, your associations are so important. You know, who are the 5 main people that you hang out with?
Yeah.
And he was hitting that pretty hard last night. And he, you know, it's going to be a podcast about Jo Koy. We interviewed him, episode 108. If you have not heard it, go back, listen to it. And you can hear where his heart is. Yeah. And when you see him, you can feel, like, for me, because I am very, you can feel where his heart lies. Like,
he lets it all out.
The word that comes to mind is love. And that's what he said. It's like, just be that. Be love. Be loving.
You know what's funny?
Kind.
Is that it seems like as he's gotten older, he doesn't have a lot of time for the other shit. You know what I mean? He's like, if you're not that, I'm fucking skipping over your ass. Right. Ain't nobody got time for that shit. Yeah. You know, but man, it was an awesome show. And huge thank you. I mean, I don't know if I actually said it, but huge thank you to Eric and Angela.
Yes.
I mean, that was an unforgettable show, unforgettable experience. And Jo Koy's coming back on the podcast. Yes. We talked to him at the end of the show, And you know, we told him this was probably like show 6 or 7. We're gonna go back and look at our photo albums or that we keep on the computer and see like how far back we've been going, because we went from the small venues all the way to the sold out arenas.
Right.
And it really was something that, if you go back to the episode that we did with him, like it is, even though we don't know him like super personally, like we've had a couple interactions and we recorded an episode and we followed his comedy and all that stuff, but it is almost like a friend that you watch have success.
Yes.
You know, like watching them blow up. And that was one of the things that yesterday he took a moment. Like he was saying hi to everybody, signing stuff, but he took a moment to like talk to us, and he was like, "How are you guys doing?" And we're like, "Dude, we're doing awesome." And then I think that's when we told him that we had seen him maybe like the 6th or 7th time, and that he did our show a couple of years back, and he's like, "I'm doing it again. I'll do it again. Let's do it. Like hit me up."
Yes.
And seeing him go from stand up live and the improv, and also for us, we were at the back of the back at the improv.
Right.
And even though Eric traded seats with us, we had floor seats this time.
Right.
You know, so it's like the progression for all of us. And it was awesome to see that fucking place sold out.
Yes. The greatest moment for me was to see him taking in where he's at today, because he came out and he was like, just like looking around, and he's like, hold on, like, give me a moment. Like, I need it, like, just taking in where he's at today and being so humble. Like, he's such a humble man.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if it was Denzel Washington. I was listening to a motivational, I don't know, like a YouTube video, and he said that the hardest thing for him was not making $1 million. The hardest thing for him was believing that he can make $1 million.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when the $1 million, it was believing that that was the hardest thing for him, was believing that he was capable of creating $1 million.
Yeah.
You know, for Jo Koy, like that was his thing, you know, being on that stage and seeing every seat, there was a butt, right? In that seat.
Yeah. All the way to the top.
And he brought his father up, and he said that his father was his biggest cheerleader. This is when he was talking about like associations, like people, like his mom, not so much. His mom wanted him to be a nurse, right? But that's okay. He said that's what, you know, it was being that mom, like that protector, that.
Well, not only that, but she's from the Philippines.
Yes.
Like,
and that's what they do.
Straight up from the Philippines. And like the people in the family that were able to get out of that struggle the way it was in the Philippines came here and became nurses, and that's a secure job. You can, you know, they make good money.
Right.
You have benefits.
Yes.
Shit that we always hear, you know?
And then he brings up his dad.
And it's like, you want to be a fucking clown? You should be a nurse, like everybody else in the family that's doing well. And it's embarrassing when your son's a clown.
And we all go through this. Right? Some of us, whether it's with our parents or a friend or a family member, like, are you sure you want to quit your job?
Yeah. Ooh, I just thought of a good question.
Yeah.
For our interview. Yeah, because, I mean, I'll just ask the question because he is a comedian. He's a very successful comedian. And that is one of the things that most people, like you've heard over the years, if you follow comedy, a lot of comedians in school are told to shut up, told to be quiet, stop acting up, stop being the class clown. Mm-hmm. It's like, if you're going to be a fucking comedian, shouldn't you be the class clown?
Right.
Like, that's what, you know, and we've had times where Joey, like, we've noticed that he does, like, from time to time to try to make people laugh. And his laugh, on another note, is just...
his humor.
Just the way he laughs. He laughs like from his belly.
Oh,
when something's funny to him,
yes,
he freaking just lets out a laugh, and it's the cutest thing ever. And but like, he would try to be funny, And, you know, when you're first starting out or learning things, and as a kid, you don't really understand humor. So you just say something that you think might be funny, and maybe it's a little offensive, or maybe it's not funny at all, or whatever. But it was like, okay, that was like, I see what you're doing. And it's not like, hey, shut up, or why would you say something like that, or, you know, whatever. It's like, okay, you're trying to be funny. It's like, let's talk about that. You know, sometimes you got to be careful, but, you know, good job. Like, at least trying.
Right.
You know, but like, as a question for him, like, if you have a kid, like, how do you develop, like, as a comedian, how would you, if you have a kid that's kind of funny, like, what, I mean, because you don't want him going to school being the fucking class clown. It's like, my dad said I'm going to be a fucking comedian. Fuck you, Mrs. Whatever, you know? And then everyone's like, ha, 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 laughing and shit, doing stand-up in the class, you know? So, like, how do you develop something like that?
Right. Yeah.
But there are, I mean, Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy, both of them were in clubs, like, at 16.
Yeah. Did you think that it was going to be impossible to get Jo Koy on again?
No.
Okay.
No, I just don't have expectations of anything.
Yeah.
You know, if it happens, it happens. Yeah. But I don't know. I think, yeah, you probably feel like, oh, I felt like it wasn't going to happen. But no, I know it's a possibility.
Because I kind of knew we were. Like I
Okay.
expressed that. Not that it was an look at how he's
I'm
how
just
he
saying.
just said that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't an expectation. It's just, I don't know, the kind of guy he is, and I feel like we had a really good podcast, and I just knew that I really felt it, like that it was going to happen.
Yeah.
I haven't told you that like 2 weeks ago.
Babe, but don't be delusional, all right?
What does that mean?
I'm just saying, it is what it is. Like, also understand who Jo Koy is. I do. He is a very, very nice person. He is
exactly.
You know, he's a genuine person. Yes. Super great guy. He is also an A-list celebrity. Like, since we've met him, he's done movies, done all these things. What I'm saying is, it's not like we were going to walk up to the front of the stage and he's going to be like, oh, shit, look who came to my show, Miguel and Sonja.
Miguel is trying to be a comedian right now.
No, what I'm saying is what was supposed to happen happened. He didn't really remember us.
Right.
And then when we were like, oh, we've been here for this long and we did your podcast, and he was like, then maybe it was like, oh, shit, like they look familiar.
Right.
Type of thing.
Right.
And I was like, that is what I thought might happen. But it wasn't like, oh, it's not possible, or... You know, I'm just like that, and exactly what I thought could happen happened. Okay. We could have also not talked to him and then maybe sent him a message and been like, we were at the show. You did our show last time, and it could have worked out that way. A lot less likely, but yeah.
Yeah, I knew we were going to have him on.
Yeah, you did.
I told you that. I haven't told you the first time. The first time that it was going to happen. I do have these psychic abilities.
Well, babe,
you know?
if I didn't, like, I went and handed out flyers. Like, that's how
you know how many people have done that, though?
Yeah.
And don't land him on the podcast? That
is the thing. I don't give a fuck.
About what?
About anything, or what anybody does, or what they've done, what.
But that's what I'm saying.
You know, like, I don't give a fuck.
Because you said I was handing out flyers. Well, yeah. You know how many other people did that, too? And didn't land?
Okay.
Jo Koy?
You can say that. Not many. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Not many people go out and hand out flyers.
And land Jo Koy.
No. Period.
No.
No, not many people are handing out flyers for their own shit. Like, nobody's hustling like that still.
That's actually why he said yes.
Yeah, because people don't do that.
Right.
And you know who did do that?
He did.
That's what he did. Because he knew that's what the hustle was.
Right.
He wanted to get his name known. He wanted people to know who he was. So he made flyers, he made merch, he made all kinds of shit. And he wanted everybody to have it so that they could promote his stuff.
By the way, merch. How do you like my new sweater?
Yeah, the new hat, the new sweatshirt. We had to support, you know. Yeah, for sure. But man, it was it was pretty special night. Dude, and we laughed so freaking hard. I was crying more than not.
I think I peed a little.
Bitch, that was a lot. That's a Jo Koy. We got all kinds of inside Jo Koy jokes. So yeah, but yeah, huge shout out.
I would like to take
to Jeff and Paige,
Audrey, with
Eric
us,
and Angela. Yeah,
you know, with us.
Definitely.
I think she would have. She would. Joey's not. I don't feel Joey.
Maybe he's a
is.
little bit too young still.
Right.
But next show, that'd be cool. Introduce Jo Koy to Audrey.
Yeah, I think she would, or I know she would absolutely love him. And then he had the Jabberwockies there as well.
Yeah.
Which was amazing. It was my first time ever seeing them in person.
Yeah, we've never seen them. I remember when I first saw them on the show that made them famous. I mean, I think it was America's Best Dance Crew or something like that. They were like the first season winner. And I watched the whole thing, and then I was like, dude, those guys can dance. That was fun.
Yeah. And so, anyways.
So, yeah, we'll see. We'll hit them up, schedule a date, and let you guys know.
So I decided that I was going to start talking to people in the sauna.
Yeah.
When I was working out the other day, I'm there meditating normally in the sauna. Don't really speak much. And I heard this conversation happening between a smartphone, an iPhone, and an Android. So I had to get into that conversation and ask some questions because I always get that same comment. You need to get an iPhone.
You need to unbrainwash yourself.
And I'm like, why? Because it's going to make your life easier. Is it?
No.
You know, is it really? So anyways, there's this conversation happening and I'm listening, I'm eavesdropping. And so I, sit up and I ask her, I'm like, so you just switched over to the iPhone? She said, yes. I said, so how do you like it? She's like, I'm still trying to get to know it.
Yeah.
And she's about maybe 25, so she's young. And then we just started talking and somehow, I said, because of my business. And they're like, oh, what is it that you do? And I did not do that on purpose. You know how some people do it
that
on.
Was slick,
no. And so I'm like, I'm a coach. That's what I just left it at that.
Who, me?
And she's like, what kind of coach? And that's when it just, opened. But I just, share a little bit here or there. I don't throw up on them. And she just started asking questions, and then she followed me on Instagram and sent me her number on Instagram, both of them. And I talked to them about the retreat, and they're like, we've been looking to go to a women's retreat.
That's awesome, babe.
So, yeah.
So you're already building the next one. Yep. Dude, that iPhone Android thing is freaking crazy. Just like all the.
Careful.
It's like we
might lose some listeners here.
It's like the us and them with fucking cell phones. It's like everything will find a way to divide us. It's like, oh, fuck him. He's got an Android.
Right.
But, dude, I was watching this thing about the two different, like Android and Apple. And they were talking about just like the way that they can get, kind of like we were saying in the beginning, their fucking tentacles wrapped around you. In their ecosystem, like you start signing up for this, and then now you have to have this. You got to have the cloud this, and then you have to. And from what I understand, Apple is really bad at that shit. Like they will keep you, once you have it, it makes it so hard if you want to switch because they have all of your shit. So that and a bunch of other shit. But anyway, yeah, it's another us and them type of thing.
The other young lady that was in there that I was chatting with said that her husband, he's a business owner, and one of his requirements is for all his employees to have an iPhone. I'm like, what?
Yeah, because I'm not working there.
Because there's it makes it, I don't know, like an easier way to communicate with everybody if they have this certain app or whatever it is. I don't know.
I messed up one of my friends a couple weeks ago because you know how when iPhones respond back, we have Androids. But when iPhones respond back, sometimes it'll say like so-and-so liked, or it said loved the image
yes.
or whatever. And I copied it and I pasted it and I sent it back to him. And he's like, did you get an iPhone? And I'm like, fuck no. Never get an iPhone.
Who was that?
My friend Steve, of course, my friend Stevens. That always, he's freaking been trying to get me to switch to iPhone since they came out.
Yeah.
It's funny because we're best friends and like there's a bunch of shit that it's like iPhone, Android, Coke, Pepsi, fucking this and that. It's like all
atheist,
yeah,
spiritual,
yep,
or religious,
or Christian, yeah,
Christian, yeah,
crazy,
yep. But opposites attract. That's how.
There you go.
That's how it works.
So yeah, So now we have what's up, babe?
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say we have our oldest daughter visiting us for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, picked her up a couple days ago, and she's gonna be spending a couple weeks with us. She's turning 18 in January.
Dude, so she's driving now, right?
Yeah.
And we went to go pick up Audrey, and she's like, "Can I drive?"
Yeah. Michaela,
and
by
it's
the way.
like, I just have to really, I'm like, okay. Because she's been driving, so, okay. Right? So I allow her to drive, and we pick up Audrey, and Audrey gets in the car, and I can see her in the back, and she's all smiling. Her older sister is driving, you know, and Kayla has really good sharp turns.
Really good sharp turns?
So when she turns, you know, you tend to just like hold on the Jesus handle. That's what they call that.
Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah.
The Jesus handle. But Audrey's just like smiling in the back, like just big smiles. But I'm like, at least she's going to be aware that when she starts driving, that's going to be us.
Yeah. Dude, I was that thought came into my mind earlier this week about Audrey getting to that age where she's going to start driving. Like, she's been asking to go for drives more. Mm-hmm. You know, she's been asking about going to get the permit so that she can go take her test. And we got to figure out how all that shit works. Because now apparently it's like online and your parents can witness you take the test or some shit.
Right.
It's freaking weird. But
is it though?
Yeah.
Or are we just old?
Maybe. No, it's fucking weird to just like be able to do the test from home. It's like, you don't think I'm going to, you know what? Last time I had to go to, I got a ticket in New York, and I had to take driving school.
This motherfucker. I let him go out of town, right? I allow him to go out of town.
About to mute
and
your
all
ass.
of a sudden, he starts bringing home damn tickets, and I'm like, what the hell is this?
Whatever. So I go to
Speedy Gonzalez. What kind of car did you have, huh?
It was probably a Challenger. But anyway, so I'm in New York, and I get a speeding ticket while I'm at work.
In New York.
Yes. All right, babe. Fuck. So I get now I fucking forgot.
And so women, when you want your man to shut up, just keep talking. Then he'll forget. No.
Yeah.
You were in New York. You received a ticket.
Oh, yeah. So I had to do driving school. And I mean, first of all they want is money. The driving school was like super easy. And then when they start asking you questions, I just copied the question and pasted it into the AI, into ChatGPT. I told it, act as a New York State driving instructor and give me the answer for this. And it fucking gave me the answer, gave me the answer. I don't
think we should be talking about
Man,
this.
fuck those motherfuckers.
That's why you guys need to go to Opposites Attract podcast. Go to our website, fill out the resource list. Because they're going to take us off one day because Miguel's got a big mouth.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This shit's a game. I'm just playing it.
Roll your dice.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh my God. Have you lost your mind?
You guys gotta watch this.
Have you lost your mind?
Roll your dice.
All right. Make sure you guys go to our website, oppositesattractpodcast.com. Share it with the people that you know. When you guys go to our website, you'll see all the ways that you can follow the podcast. You can share it with your friends. That's the best thing you can do is share the podcast with your friends. Follow us at Opposite Pod on all the different social media. And if you find a clip that you like, share it with somebody else. Tell them to subscribe, to comment, all that stuff.
All that good stuff.
Yeah. And if you guys want to support the show, you can click the support the show tab. That'll take you to our Amazon link. Anything that you purchase through that link doesn't cost you anything extra.
You can also go to buymeacoffee.com/oppositepod and buy us a virtual drink. And you can subscribe for that on a monthly subscription as well.
There you go. The hell's wrong with you, yo?
There's vodka.
What the fuck happened? What is in that drink? You are going off the rails.
Yummy. So, cheers, babe.
Cheers.
It's been so fun, and it's still Saturday. What?
Dude, I woke up today. I was like, dude, it's still Saturday.
So cute.
I was excited.
Yep. Miguel's been doing his push-ups. Ooh.
I've been kind of slacking, but I'm Monday. I'm starting over. I don't know if I talked about this.
No, you
on
didn't.
The last one about the 20 pounds.
Nope.
That I found.
Nope.
About the 20 pounds
and
that I found.
I'm so glad you found them and I did not. because my pants are fitting me good. Pants that I didn't fit in before are fitting me good.
No, I think I have a feeling like I'm getting that I'm getting that deja vu. Like I've talked about this on the podcast before, but maybe I talked about destroying that pizza in Connecticut.
Yes, you talked about that.
But dude, let me pull up the freaking screenshots real quick because that shit was insane.
See, but you've already lost.
Yeah.
So I think you were bloated.
No. So look, when I was, but
I think you're full of shit.
Babe, the fuck. Anyway.
Oh, wrong one.
Yeah, is that taking a shit now?
Yeah.
Where's it at?
That sounds like that's pretty close. Oh.
We got very versatile sound effects.
Right.
It could be either us having sex or taking a shit.
See? Yes.
It's either or. All right. But so I took a reading from my scale because my scale has the app and it does all that shit. On October 20th, I was 160 pounds. 160. On October 30th, 10 days later, I was 177.
That was all the candy he was eating.
So I was almost 18 pounds that I had gained in 10 days. That is fucking crazy.
See, now you know how us females feel.
But now, today I was fine. I was back under 170. I was like 169. So I'm like, all right, cool.
I like that
now
number.
I'm back. I know you do.
I do a lot. I like it a lot. There you go.
Was I taking a shit? Or what was it?
You're talking about 69. That can't be taking a shit.
Okay. No. That was the...
That's, yeah.
Okay, this is how you know the difference.
Oh, there you go. Okay, there
you got to be more specific. Do I have a toilet flushing? I need to get the toilet and then hit the toilet after, and then that'll be that.
Yeah. Okay.
Good idea. See, we've figured things out here.
Anyway, so
lost your mind.
Miguel is talking to me about this, and I'm looking at him like, motherfucker, where is it at? And he said it was on his cock.
Yeah.
That's what
really, babe?
I said, then I need to see that.
You're gonna have to show me.
You got to prove that to me, buddy.
You know what's crazy is like I like actually noticed the difference when I had to do pull-ups. Like that shit sucked. I was like, dude, this is way harder. And then I was thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, that's like an extra 20 fucking pounds that I'm trying to do pull-ups with in 10 days. Like your muscles don't work like that. My muscles were like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, but the truth is like now, I did say I've lost 10 pounds. So now they're getting easier, but I think it's also helping make me stronger. So I'm just going to get fatter and lighter.
So how long did it take you to lose these 10 pounds?
So it took me
how many days?
About a week.
Maybe about a week. A week. I'm telling you, you're full of shit.
Yeah.
And you just let it out.
Yeah. Whatever, babe.
So
that's the way it fucking works, dude. You act like it's some big fucking secret. If you ate a bunch of bullshit, you'd be full of shit too.
No, it wouldn't take me a week to lose 10 pounds.
Nobody wants to fucking hear about bowel movements on this fucking podcast.
Someone's relating. Trust me, someone is relating. So while Miguel is working on his push-ups, I'm working on flipping my legs over my head. And I can flip now my legs. I can touch the mat and also spread my legs and continue to keep, that you
can smell your own pussy. That's what that yoga position is called. We're gonna do the downward dog into the smell your own pussy.
Babe, language.
Get the fuck out of here. You just said something about you're just talking about my cock.
I just repeated what you said. That's all. That's what you said, and I just repeated it.
You see how women do this shit? That shit is my fault too now? What the fuck? Hell no.
Lying?
Hell no.
Is that not what you said? Is that not what you said?
Yeah, but I didn't say it on the podcast. You're sitting here complaining about
what you said.
Talking about the smell your own pussy position.
And this is how you... Okay, so was I right?
You have lost your mind.
He can't even say that I was right when I was right. I was just repeating what you told me.
No.
You're going to get it when we get off this podcast.
Okay.
Yep.
So anyway, where were we?
Having fun. Stacy says hi.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know who Stacy is, you have to watch the previous podcast.
Stacy made an appearance. That's Sonja's sexy, horny, freaky side.
Fun side.
Fun side, yes.
And also gets shit done. She's a
boss bitch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Little bit of this and a little bit of that. Anyways, so we're just gonna have fun today.
Yeah. Now let's talk about some sad shit.
No. Dude, I'm really excited for what's about to come.
For? Yeah?
Like come. No, really. What's about to come?
What do you mean?
Just with the podcast, the coaching, your podcast.
You know,
where we're headed.
Right. You know, one thing that Jo Koy was talking about yesterday, and not like we don't want to give out all his shit because this is also going to come out on his new special that's going to come out on Netflix. So definitely, if you guys haven't, I probably missed the tour because I think he's got like Brooklyn and that's it, right? He said he's going straight to Brooklyn and shooting the Netflix special. So he was talking about like the difference between young boys today. It's like they have all the tools to be successful. Mm-hmm. And
what he means by that is where
like
we
the
are
world that we live in today.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I just said, using the fucking AI, playing the game, like, and how different, I don't know, the kids are today. Maybe it was just getting old, or that was kind of the theme too. Is like, we're all getting fucking older now. You know what I mean?
I got to share this real quick.
You can't give away the whole special.
When he said that the younger, because there were younger, teenagers in the crowd, whatever, with their parents. And he's like, they're probably going to go back and tell their friends, I think I went to a senior citizen comedy show.
Oh my God. Yeah,
that
for real.
Was so funny.
For real.
The shit he was saying last night was freaking hilarious because it's all truth.
Yeah.
It's what people are thinking,
want to say,
but they're not saying.
Yep. But yeah, so he's talking about like how kids have all the tools to be successful, but still just like fucking around. Yeah. And now, like, we've had Jo Koy on the show, right? Mm-hmm. And like when we had him on the show, it wasn't like we were brand new at podcasting. And I think that's kind of, it's part of the journey. Like we were podcasters, but we were 108 episodes in, which might seem like a lot, but it's still, you're working shit out. You're learning how to do it. You're still, and now everything's we're a lot further along in this. What's this one? This is 258. We're 150 more episodes in from that one.
Right.
So this next episode, and like he was talking about, there's new tools since the last time he came on the episode.
Right.
There's different ways that we can do things. There's more things that we've learned. Mm-hmm. So the next episode that we have with him is not going to be the same as the last. The last one was great.
Right.
But the next one's not going to be the same.
How can it not be great? Jo Koy was on it.
Yeah.
Right.
But the next one is not going to be the same.
Right.
Because we'll be better prepared. We'll know what we're doing. We're at a different level. So it'll be more focused, more direct, and it's going to be a great time. Yes. And that's where, things start happening. Start taking advantage of the opportunity.
Yes. I'm proud of us.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
Thanks,
There's
babe.
so much you had to learn.
Dude.
He edits his own shit.
Yeah.
How did that make
Jo
you
Koy?
feel when he said that?
There's a lot of people that do that. I mean, I think if you really care, like you do that shit. You do, it's your project,
Yeah.
Why would you hand that shit off to somebody else? That's been, there's another guy that for my other podcast that I follow his YouTube channel. And I remember him talking about that too. It's like, it's a hard thing to hand off because this is something this is us. Mm-hmm. And for me to just like drop it off to somebody else and be like, you find what you think. And it's like, no. Like, I want to know what the hell's going on. I want to see it. I want to,
right.
This is our thing.
Right.
So
yeah.
hard to give up that creative control.
I wonder if that is very similar to a business owner who has owned a business for many years and the business is successful, but a lot of them have a very difficult time handing it over to someone else to run.
Yeah, but this is something
because it's their
that,
baby.
Yeah, with something like that, I would think that it's more systems that you have to have in place to be able to like let go of a business. You have to get things systemized so that you can teach somebody the system and be like, okay, this is when you come in, you do this, they do this. This is what happens. If this happens, then you guys do this. If this happens, you guys do this. Like you get it up. But when it's something like what we're doing, or like making a movie or doing a comedy show or whatever, editing videos, writing a book, these are things, it's like almost, it might be informational, but it's an art.
Right.
It's a creative thing. So I think you get more involved in it. And it's hard, and that's when it gets hard to like release control of it.
Yes.
But yeah, but speaking of like the editing and all the things that I had to learn, because I've mentioned it on here, like starting the new podcast, the Fighting for Your Life, which I'm working on the next guest that's going to come out this month. As soon as I know, I'll let you guys know and I get that locked in. But when I started that podcast again, it reminded me again of like all the things that it took to start this show. Because that show came out and it looks good already, but this show didn't come out. We should go back and look at some of the original ones because, dude, like, when I really think about it, like I did some shit. I used to edit this podcast on the Microsoft Photos app, on the free app on the computer that most people don't even know that you can edit a video on that. And it was just because, you know what? That's another good example of like, it wasn't the best thing that I could have used to edit. I didn't have to have Adobe Premiere Pro, which is like the professional software that costs hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars to edit this thing. We didn't have $300, $400, $500 microphones to talk into. We didn't have a camera that was thousands of dollars to record our show with.
Right.
We had microphones that were $120 for the whole freaking setup. We had an old ass laptop.
We used our phone.
We used our cell phones to record the video. I used the Microsoft Windows. I used Audacity, which is a free audio recording software that you can download online. I used the Microsoft Photos app to edit the video. And there weren't tutorials on how to do this shit. Like how to sync up the sounds and the voice because I just had to figure it all out. And our cell phones can't record. Like these are things that I even forget about. Our cell phones aren't even capable of recording a video for an hour straight. It'll cut the video off in the middle. So I used to have to splice the videos together and put a little logo in between and make the voices line up again. Just getting it distributed to all the different places. Yeah. And then learning how to build a computer out of all of that shit. Because I wanted to get an editing computer to step it up a little bit. We started getting lights, started up. And that's the thing is we were upgrading little by little. We got some LED lights and didn't know how to fucking use them. Turning them up full blast so you can't see shit. Because everything in the house is fucking bright as fuck. We should be. We
were in the kitchen recording.
We should have been wearing fucking sunglasses on the fucking podcast. We didn't know what. I didn't know shit.
Dude, I remember when we first started recording, we were in the middle of a podcast and we heard a big old thump. And it was a freaking bird that hit the window.
Slammed into the window.
Right.
Yeah. Somebody said we need to put stickers on our windows in the back or something so that the birds can see that you can't get through there. Because dude, we were sitting there and all of a sudden, bam, a fucking dove right into the window. Almost broke that shit. We're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But yeah, like just all that stuff. And I've heard it said before where like if somebody told you everything that it would take to get something going, you would never start.
We need to share this with Eric.
Yeah. No, and
because he's going through that right now.
No, and we're gonna help him out. Our friend Eric that we were recently talking about, he's got he just opened up, or he's opening up a place. If you guys are out here in Arizona in Chandler, let me
Yes. So everything you're sharing.
RejuveGen. ReJuvgen. RejuveGen in Chandler. And it's going to be like a rehabilitation recovery. I think it's more like recovery for athletes. Like for us that practice jujitsu, we're always needing the cold plunges, the sauna, the hot tub, massages, that sort of thing. And he's opening up right next to one of our friends, Rick Centron Jiu-Jitsu. He opened up a new school. So our buddy Eric was like, dude, they got a spot right next to him. People need this. It's becoming super popular.
Yes.
And he's building the business.
So good.
But like you were saying, it's one of those things that it's like, I have a great idea. But that's the thing, is that people like Eric, people that do stuff like what we've done, it's like, fuck it. I'll figure it out. And you always have those fucking moments that you feel like, what the fuck did I get myself into? Yeah. And you always figure that shit out.
Right.
You always look back and you're like, damn, we did that shit.
You have to allow yourself the space and be okay with not being perfect.
And the thing is, Eric's built businesses.
Right.
He's selling a business. He's done all kinds of shit. Maybe he needs a reminder.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're a bad motherfucker.
Yeah. I think we all need those reminders, right?
Yeah.
Like we all need those reminders. That's taking the cookie out of the cookie jar, like taking out the cookies, getting out the reminders of the things that we've been able to accomplish.
Yeah.
Because when you look back at those moments, right, or those challenges, it helps you to really see who you are.
Yeah.
And I needed that for the retreat, right? Like I needed those reminders. And most people are so fearful of failing that they never try. But by not trying, you're failing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the only way.
Yourself
that's
to
the
do
only
the
way you
thing
succeed.
that's uncomfortable.
I remember somebody told us that a millionaire doesn't become a millionaire until after their like 7th or 8th thing that they try out.
Oh, yes.
But it's like, so what, are they, a loser? Mm-hmm. Are you a fucking loser? You've lost 6 times in a row. I mean, and what if that was it?
Yeah.
There was another thing that I remember in this book, Napoleon Hill, that they would talk about, is that same thing. Because there's a lot of people that will try once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. And they're getting tired of this shit already. Like, dude, when is this going to fucking happen for me?
Right.
And then maybe I should just get a job.
Right.
Or maybe, and there's nothing wrong. Like maybe you do need to, maybe getting a job will help you push that shit along quicker.
Right.
But if it's just like, I'm packing it in and I'm done, then it's guaranteed it's over.
Right.
But so many people don't realize how close they are to everything just changing in a way that you would not be able to recognize what you were doing before.
Whew. Our friend Bill Soroka, such a great example. 26 businesses. Not that he failed at. It's not the destination, it's the journey. It's who you become.
Yeah.
And today, wow, he just beyond successful what I mean beyond successful is he has it all.
Yeah.
He has the love. He has the time. Like he is the picture. When I picture success, that's it. It's not just the money. It's everything. It's the relationships.
Yeah, it's who he is.
It's
who he is, because like he has the money. Mm-hmm. He has the ability to do the things that he wants. But where he is like, I don't know, mentally, physically, all of it is just, he is a happy person. He is, like you said, he is love.
Yes.
It's kind of like what we were talking about, like when you try to think about what a person is like that hates. And like, I remember I don't know if it was like last weekend or something like that. I was telling you, so I was like trying to put myself in that, and I'm like, ugh. Like I can't even fucking think. Like, how does somebody think like that?
Like wish ill on someone else. Yes.
Like even people that I don't like, I don't wish bad shit for them.
Right.
But there are angry motherfuckers out there. Right. You know what I mean? It's like, those are the people that Jo Koy was talking about. It's like, I'm skipping right over those people. You can fucking have that shit.
Right.
You know? But yeah.
Yeah. No.
Dude, what were you just saying? I was gonna mention something about that.
Which part?
What were you just talking about?
Success and what that looks like and what it means. I don't know. Success, there's a definition. There's different definitions for different individuals, right?
Well, yes. And that is what something that I was gonna mention, is that we were talking to a friend of ours yesterday too, that was talking about success. And how so many people feel like this is the place.
Right. Yeah.
Like success is a spot that I'm going to get to.
Yes.
Like when I get to this point, I am a success. And dude, it's like, there is no success. It doesn't finish. It doesn't end. Like the goal is to find a way to make a living doing something that you love so that it's not work. It sounds so fucking cliche, like everybody says, you work a day in your life, you never.
We've been saying that forever.
You know, but that, dude, the truth is, like I said, it's all a game. These are all things that people make up. So we have one shot at this thing. And you have to make this shit work for you, for your life. And the best thing would be to try to be happy throughout it.
Yes.
As much as you can.
Yes.
You know, be in a good, positive environment and putting out good energy, good vibes or whatever, instead of being fucking grouchy all the time and fucking negative. You know what I mean?
Right. You and I, when we spent that, go ahead. Sorry.
But part of the things that gets people down a lot of times is they think that success is going to be a spot. When I get here, dude, what it takes to get there is what's important. There was something that I had to do last week. I don't know, something fucking broke in the house. It was one of those things that it's like you've been doing shit nonstop. And the little bit of time
that doorknob.
It might have been the doorknob. It might have been picking up Jane's dog shit. It might have been fucking whatever, like whatever it is, right? It's these things that piss us off. And I was just like, in that moment, I'm like, I think this a lot. I'm like, this is life. That is a saying that I have in my head all the time. Like, this is life, you know? And it was one of those things. And I remember in my head this time, I said, so be it. And then I remembered that when I looked up the definition to amen, because so many times we'll say a prayer or whatever, and at the end it's like, amen. And you guys know me, I question everything. I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? Why do you guys always say that? Does Jesus not hear you if you don't say amen? Like I would always kind of like, so God can't, like that's.
This is what I used to deal with.
Like, that's like the walkie-talkie. It's like over. It's like, amen. You hear me up there? You know what I mean? So I'm like,
such an idiot.
I'm like, what the fuck does amen even mean? And why do you guys always say it? And then when I look it up, it means so be it. And then in that moment when I was like, is that kind of where it came? It's like, this is life. So be it. And it is what it is. It's all kind of like the same thing. So maybe from now on, I'll just be like, amen, brother. But it's the suffering. It's like not wanting that shit. It's like, this is life.
Yeah. So back to what is success, right?
Yeah.
You look at the different areas of your life. Like if you're in a relationship, marriage, your spirituality, your career, parenting, like just whatever it is, the different, I don't know if you want to call them roles.
Aspects. Yeah.
You know, of who you are.
The different roles that we have. Yeah.
You know, like when I look at us, I see us doing very well in the relationship part of who we are, right? Yeah. But there's always continued growth.
Yeah.
Always. It's constant because we are constantly growing. We are constantly, every year we age, something's going to change. Something's going to be, right? Like it just is. And so in order to have a happy marriage, you have to continue to grow, learn about each other, learn about yourself, and keep working on it. And it's the same thing with parenting, because even when the kids decide to move out, doesn't mean that we stop being parents.
Yeah.
They're going to get older.
Our role changes.
Yeah. They're going to get older. They're going to start going through challenges and struggles. And we are here to still parent them. Yep. So it's continuing to grow with them.
Yeah.
In our career, constant coach, life coach. What do? Fucking coach on life. That's fucking that's forever.
Right.
That's forever.
That also reminds me of, like, for me, like martial arts. Like it's like when you really think about jujitsu, when you practice it enough and you start seeing like what a black belt is, it's like, it doesn't mean you know everything. There is so much to this freaking thing that you can tell that people could just make up something new. You know what I mean? Like jujitsu is so complicated. There's so many ways to do things, and the fundamentals are really important. It's like one of those things. It's like it's like life. And then when you start realizing that there is no end, that there is always like a little bit of a counter or something that I can do, unless you're, in a really bad position. But a lot of times there is no end. There's always something.
I feel that our purpose in life is self-discovery. Like that's what everyone's purpose is self-discovery. And if you don't work on that, you will continue to suffer and to have the pain because you're not going within. You're not trying to learn about who you actually are. What is it that you want in life? Self-discovery.
Yeah.
Who are you?
I just had a thought, like a lot of, maybe this goes for me, but it's like one of those things that's like, we're trying to figure out everything else. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, what is that about? What is that about? Like, I wonder why that, it's like, what are you about?
Mm-hmm.
Like, figure yourself out. Why are you this way?
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Why are they that way? And why am I this way? What makes them different? And what makes me different?
It's not even about the they. It's about the I.
Yeah. But like, why? Yeah. Figure yourself out.
Right. You and I, it's what we did. Why am I feeling insecure when it wasn't you. I couldn't figure you out. I had to go within. Why am I feeling this way? What's going on here? What happened to me to make me feel this way?
Right.
And you had to do the same for you. And then once we started to learn about us, who we are, then the puzzle started to come together.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Yep.
And our puzzle at the beginning was all fucked up. No.
It was, yeah.
We had pieces over here. We had missing pieces.
Yeah, we had to go find some pieces.
Idea.
Yeah, we had to go find
some. I had no idea. And then when we started to self-discover, started to ask questions, why am I? Why am I? Instead of why is he fucked up?
Yep.
Instead of looking at you like, what is wrong with you? Why are you being this way?
Yeah.
It was like, what's going on with me?
I remember what we were talking about earlier, like those friends that you call, and what are they? A good friend is probably going to be talking about things that you can do because they know, like, this is something they're probably, if there's somebody that you should have around, they're probably somebody that also takes ownership of their shit.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're calling them with issues that you have going on, I mean, if you call me with issues, I'm going to be thinking about, like, what can you do to get out of this situation? Regardless of whatever's happening, what can you do to fix this situation? Your girlfriend's this, your wife is this, your job is this, but what are you going to do? Because you can't control any of that other stuff.
No.
And that is like another, when you call that person and they're like, so how can we fix this? What are you, instead of, well, that mother and they should,
Yep. Yes.
Got to be careful for those people. But dude, it is so awesome to, see the growth that Jo Koy's had. Like I said, it feels like a friend that just blew up. And like I said before, it's one of those things that always feels good to me and to you and to people like us, man. Like,
you see someone else winning.
Yeah. When you see your friends winning, when you see, like, Eric, dude, I know he's stressed out about the stuff that he's doing. He bit off a big thing, but dude, I know he can do it.
Oh, yes.
And we're going to figure out, like, we'll help where we can. He's got friends that can help. And eventually he's going to look back and be like, dude, there's another one. Like, we did it.
Yeah.
And it's exciting. It's like, I told him, I'm like, dude, I'm super excited. Like, that's a freaking awesome opportunity to have, like, the gym and then have this place. You already have clientele. People are getting into this thing. Like, I'm excited for him to blow this thing up.
Right.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
It's exciting. One last thing before we get out of here. We have a friend.
Yes. Want to wish Kelly a happy birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Kelly.
Happy birthday. Love you, lady.
Yep. Definitely appreciate your guys' support. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you guys for your love. Thank you for your support. And thank you for watching Opposites Attract podcast.
Where we get better
together. Bye.